Hi there, I'm Leslie Barrett. Joining me is my new co-anchor on the 6 and 11 anchor desk, Derek Steyer, and you probably already know him from WFMJ Weekend Today. He's been with us for 2 years already.
It's gone by so fast. I can't believe it.
It has. And so we're just really excited to have him. I'm really excited to have you on the anchor desk. Can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up?
Sure. Well, I grew up in a suburb of St. Louis, Missouri, and 5 minutes from the airport. It's a town called Hazelwood, about 20,000 people. And so that's born and raised there, stayed there until I went away to college. So, I mean, I loved it. It was so much to do. I'm a city guy. I'm not, country or whatnot. I'm just love the big city and definitely miss it because I haven't been back in a long, long time.
And you were interested in theater there?
I did theater in high school. I did some high school sports for a little bit, baseball and soccer, but then I got into theater. And that took up almost all my time during high school, and I loved it. Musical theater. My first role was a dead guy.
Oh.
So you had to, you had to start somewhere, right?
Yes.
So, my first play, I was like, you're going to be the dead guy. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do my best. And luckily it got better from there, and by the time I reached my senior year, I had a lead part. So.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how small the role is. It's always how you do in that role.
What you put into it is how big that role is, absolutely.
Yeah, and then you went on to college from there.
I did. I didn't know I wanted to do broadcasting right away. I was a big sports fan, and I went to school to be a sports doctor, pre-med. And then I got in there and I was like, whoa, this is going to be a lot of work. I don't know that I want to do all this. So I decided to come home because I went away to a school in Northeast Missouri. And I came home and my mom said, you like theater, why don't you try broadcasting? And I'm like, yeah, sports broadcasting. That sounds kind of great.
It's a great combination.
It is, exactly. And so I did that. I took the classes. I loved it. And then I went to Arkansas State, a 4-year college down in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and did that for 3 years and ended up getting my first job there in Jonesboro as a weekend sports anchor.
It's wonderful to be able to get your first job. I think you were still in college when you first got your first job.
Yeah, it really one of those right place, the right time moments. I interned at the station over the summer. Well, in the fall, the sports director had to have heart surgery. And so they asked me to stay on and try to help out, do some reporting during the fall. I did that. The sports director decided not to come back. He just retired after his surgery. And they said, do you want to apply for the weekend position? Because we're going to move the weekend guy up to sports director. And I said, okay, but I'm not going to get this job. I'm an intern. I'm still in college. I'm not good enough to be on TV yet. I applied, I got the job, and before I graduated, I was the weekend sports anchor there. So.
What a wonderful experience.
It really was, yeah, because during my internship, I had 3 packages that actually aired on the station during that time. Very, very small market, but still it was great, a great experience for me. And, I look back on it now, it really got me started into where I am today.
Yeah, and then from there you went on to Alabama.
I did. I kept moving down south to Montgomery, Alabama. Raycom, which owned the station in Jonesboro, owns this station in Montgomery, Alabama, WSFA. And I got there in 1999, August of 1999, and I stayed there all the way until, August of 2013. So 14 years I spent in Montgomery, and couldn't have asked for a better experience as a weekend sports anchor there as well. I got to cover 4 bowl trips for Auburn and Alabama. I got to cover a World Series. I got to cover professional golf outings, the NCAA basketball tournament, you name it. I got to cover some great events.
And that's where you met your wife, Christy.
It is. Met my wife, Christy, down there. She was the weekend news anchor at my rival station. So we had a big kick out of that once we met and started dating. Everybody asked, who gets the better ratings? Who has more fans? So that was always a big running joke for us. But it was neat dating and then eventually marrying someone in the news business because it was someone I can bounce ideas off of and also talk to about this crazy business that we work in. Yeah. And so it was really neat to have both of those.
And she knows what it's like to be in the thick of it.
Right, exactly. And she knows this is not a 9-to-5 job, that a lot of times we're away from our families, and she understood the dedication and everything that it takes to really succeed in this business too. So.
And you guys have 2 boys.
We have 2 little boys. Bryce is 4. And Evan is 20 months old, and so they keep us on our toes. Our hands are full with those little guys. I have 2 boys from a previous marriage, from my first marriage. Christian is 18 and Aiden is 12, and they still are in Alabama.
Yeah, great. And you came back here, her family's from around here
That's right,
too.
that's right. So in 2013, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do because we had been away from home so long. My family in St. Louis, her family here. And it was just like, okay, competition. Whoever can find a job closest to somebody's home wins. Well, she was a finalist for a job in Canton, Ohio, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find a job. And so I emailed our news director here at WFMJ, Mona, and I told her the situation. And she called me back, told me about the expansion of the Weekend Today morning show, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I had done sports all my career. I had never done news, but it was very intriguing. And so I was like, this sounds great. Christy didn't get the job, but I got the job here, and so we decided, you know what, let's go for it because this was closer to her home. We would have some help, and we really wanted, her mom and family to be able to see the boys growing up. So it really has been a great adventure and a great move coming up here, and so and what fun on the weekend morning show that we were able to launch.
Oh yeah, and what a wonderful homecoming too. And you know the area from her and family, and
yeah, because I've been
nice.
up here before visiting several times when we come up to visit the family, and everybody is just so nice, and still it's a little bit smaller than say the big city of St. Louis, but still a lot to do and a great place to raise a family.
Yeah, it's so family oriented, which is really nice.
Absolutely.
And then in your new role, you're the assistant news director and 6 and 11 co-anchor.
Yeah, I'm so excited to sit alongside you every night at 6 and 11 and take on some more responsibility here at the station. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that this would happen when I came up here for the Weekend Today show. I didn't know Bob had thought about, retiring in the next couple of years. And then let alone would I have what it took to be able to fill that spot and anchor the news at 6 and 11 each night and also take on a managerial role as well. But, the transition has been fantastic. You've been there, Bob's been there. I can't tell you how many people have been there for me in case I've, needed to ask some questions or whatnot. But it's not just about me. It's about the total team effort that we have here. And we have a great team at night. We have a lot of fun, but we work extremely hard to bring the news to the viewers that we think that they should hear and see.
And you have such a great work ethic, and we really appreciate that. And that's just really shined through your tenure here and moving into the transition.
Well,
so I think
I
that really
it.
speaks volumes about your character, and you're a great addition to the team.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here and can't wait to start the new year with all of us and hopefully that you guys will continue to watch and we're gonna turn some great stories.
Yes, we already are.
Absolutely.
So, thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Leslie.